Here we go. From just outside and just inside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia, where our belief was feeling full till we played the damn RedBull. Oh, that sigh, I feel it. I
Man,
feel it to my core.
F the Red Bulls. God, I seriously hate New Jersey. Like, hate them. Just in your bones, hate
New
them.
Jersey Bulls.
Just
Hello, everyone. It is the Five Takes podcast. And we are back.
where we were a few weeks ago.
Back like Lilo and
No, not that
Stitch.
bad.
I guess. I don't know. I never saw the original, but this movie is tearing up the box office. So if you're not watching the video portion of this, hello everyone, I'm Glenn. Amy is here tonight, just us two, and she is beside herself that I have never seen Lilo and Stitch, but this thing, the live action version, has done like $1 billion at the box office already, or on its way to. I don't get that craze, but apparently Amy's going to explain it to us. I didn't know this about her. We learn things about each other every day. A Lilo and Stitch stan. Go ahead.
The animated Lilo and Stitch is truly a masterpiece
Okay.
of storytelling. Okay, I am serious. I am so serious,
Go
Glenn.
on.
You have to watch Lilo and Stitch. It hits you in all the right feel good
Hmm.
spots. It is a story about family. It is a story about a broken family being healed and
Hmm.
finding each other. It is fun. It is whimsical. It is silly. It is um, just a breath of color and fresh
Hmm.
air in what was then a very white Disney verse, still
Okay.
a bit, and not entirely, but it was still a little bit, and also like it just. I just think if you're ever anybody that felt lost or
Hmm.
different, like it just speaks to you. It is such a great movie. And it's like an hour and a half, Glenn. Take the time. I'll
Okay.
loan you my
Okay.
Disney Plus.
Okay.
Check it out.
Okay. Fair.
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
you have to watch the animated if you're gonna even think about going to see the live
Okay.
action.
See the animated first.
I do think that they did overall a decent job with the live action in terms of staying true mostly to the things that I really loved about the animated, but there are a few things that they kind of tweak in the narrative that, I won't spoil for anybody, but that
All
I
right.
feel like maybe kind of take a little bit of a left turn, but overall I'm ecstatic for it and glad that it's getting I'm glad it's getting the money behind it because I think it was a great story. And yeah. So
Okay. All right.
go get on
All
board,
right. No.
Glenn.
No. Listen.
Seriously.
I'm all for a broken family coming together to be better. I vibe with that right now with this team. Maybe they all need to go watch Lilo and Stitch. I don't know. Maybe as another metaphor, we've tried puppies.
Yeah, I mean
Look,
the thing with Lilo and Stitch is they say it's Ohana. Ohana means family,
hmm.
and family means nobody is left behind and nobody is forgotten.
All right. Well,
And
I'll put it
right
on my
now,
list.
I'm a little bit afraid that the man who may be being left behind and forgotten
Hmm. Hmm.
might be our $22 million striker.
Yeah, maybe. Look.
And we need to get him into this family. We got to figure out how to get him and Miggy back in this little broken Atlanta United family
Yeah, fair enough.
quickly.
Speaking of family, let's talk about our friends over at Mason Mill, their family. We'll get this segue out of the way right up front. So,
Man, they fix you when you're broken, right, Glenn?
man,
It's like
send
perfect.
send Mason Mill to the training ground. So if this is your first time listening, welcome. We thank you for listening. And if it's your umpteenth time listening, you know what this spot is all about. Mason Mill, our sponsor for a long time, in Decatur, Georgia, off McConnell Mill Drive, the best chiropractor in town. And I don't just say that just because they're sponsoring this pod. I've been going there for years and years and years and years, and so has Kat. So trust us when we say we wouldn't just refer you to anyone. And we also wouldn't just take anybody supporting us on this pod just because they want to support us financially. It's not good enough. We got to actually believe in it. And we believe in these guys. 404-321-0082 is the phone number to call to get set up with an appointment with Dr. Cohen. or Dr. Miner. Either one, they're both great. Both have slightly different styles, but they will listen to you and take care of you, and you won't just feel like a number. You will feel like family. Family that cares and heals and comes back together. All those good things. You can find them on the web too, masonmillchiro.com, and you can book your appointment there as well. They are very flexible with schedule changes. We all know that happens. And they're open Tuesday through Saturday. Saturday hours are particularly clutch. So, this Red Bull match. Look, I don't think any of us are terribly surprised. Let's be real. Even the best version of Atlanta United has never been able to win at Red Bull. Never. We've squeaked out draws. That's been the best case. And that continues to be the case here. But this loss sucks particularly just the way it happened. It made the Benny Hill compilation. If you haven't seen that, we shared it on our socials. Forget which account shared it initially, but they went together and went ahead and stitched together a bunch of the really embarrassing moments for the Five Stripes this season of just giving goals away, wrapping them up in a bow, putting them on a platter, and just bringing them to the other team. And Miggy's pass was obviously one of those moments, and it's actually the first take. Like, Miggy, man, like, that's not a mishit pass for me. It's not like, oh, I didn't put enough weight on it. It's just inexcusably bad awareness. Like, pick your head up. We love you. You're loved in this town, but you're not immune from criticism.
And it was coming off a stoppage in play when we had been awarded a foul and got a set piece to reset. I went back and, against all of my better judgment, tried to watch this match again. And it doesn't get any better. I mean, it gets better in the sense that at least you know that we don't get worse. And I do think that we do have some positive things we can probably talk about here, but
sure,
sticking with the Miggy thing,
yeah.
It just really bothers me there when you need to be a leader on this team. You need to be a presence on this team. And look, I appreciate that he took, ownership of it, that he sure did try his darndest the rest of the match to make up for it. He had a couple of moments, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
But you are, for all intents and purposes, the captain in that midfield. You are the guy that we need to get going, and you don't pick your head up to make sure that a back pass across the center of the goal in the 18 is at least accurate. I don't even think he saw that there were 3 Red Bulls players, and I'm sorry, but there is no way that you were not coached repeatedly on the fact that the Red Bulls are a pressing team.
Miggy knows them too. I mean, I know he hasn't played them in a while. He's been away from this league for a while. But everybody knows Red Bull, and he knows them very well. And it's just inexcusable. It's inexplicable. We got a few comments, actually, on our feed, specifically about that one moment. Spreadsheet jockey, as always. The clock struck midnight. Miggy turned into a pumpkin, and Atlanta is back scrubbing the cellar walls. He thinks this team is still a puzzle that doesn't fit together, and we're going to have to make some really, really tough choices this summer about who goes and who stays. The vibes were high after those 2 home wins. We needed them, but reality hits again, and not too much has changed about the state of the team and what's going to happen.
I did see some bright spots, though, like just trying not to get too
in
our feelings, right?
Yeah.
So there are a few things that kind of stood out to me.
Okay.
First off, I think Alexi had still a strong match, even without having a goal contribution this time. I think that he definitely had a couple that you'd like to think would have been goal contributions if we were not completely snake bit at this moment. The move that he makes where he almost loses the ball behind him, finds it again, nutmegs the guy.
That was actually great.
2 minutes.
I mean, I'm first yelling at the screen going, okay.
Right? And he megs the guy and nearly gets around and just is an inch from finding Latte.
Alexi 4 or 5 games ago doesn't chase that down.
No.
Like, it's lost.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he had that moment. he had another moment where he plays Saba into space, and it's just a step off,
Mm,
and Saba actually gets to it and has a chance. I think if he takes one more touch to
mm,
make a good pass in, and Latte is actually making that run. Um, but instead he kicks it right into the feet of the defender. So you never think about that, right? Unless you go back and you're like, okay,
right.
what can I see here? Let me put aside the fact that I got, basically punch, sucker punched in the first 2 minutes by my number 10.
Hmm.
And and you know, what can you do there? But I think that our most ridiculed DP has demonstrated that I'm sorry, but he's not the guy I'm looking to move this summer.
Right.
I'm and I
Right. That's shocking. Yeah. That's shocking. I know.
so,
Um,
so I thought he was a bright spot. I was very frustrated with Latte most of all, but I don't I don't know who to blame. Like I really don't know. But there was one ball, I'm trying to remember when it was. Maybe you remember, but
go ahead.
somebody took a shot. Oh, Amador. Amador takes a hard shot. The keeper spills
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And I'm telling you, every team in the league that we have played that we have done that against has had three guys in the box burying that. Where is our $22 million striker? Nowhere near. He's not making that run. That frustrates me. I don't know if that's tiredness. I hope whatever it is that's going on comes back, but
Well,
that was a frustrating
there
moment for
might
me.
be something with I'm wondering a lagging injury. Lance Blair at VoiceOver ATL on X reminded us that Latte Lot injured his groin a week before we signed him,
Mm, interesting.
and he thinks he has zero lateral speed for what it's worth. Very up and down the pitch, no problem, but side to side maybe not. He's
Mm.
um, he thinks he's toast, and Garth should be fired by Josh Blank. Um,
That took
I'm
that took a much more
Yeah,
negative
yeah,
dive than
for
where I thought
sure.
that was
But
going.
Lance, we appreciate the comments specifically about that groin injury. I wonder if he might be carrying something in the way that apparently Jean Day, before he moved on, and Muyumba last year were apparently carrying something. It doesn't look like that. Like he's getting around. He's just not finishing the chances. So, I don't know. He's not immune from criticism either. Honestly, I'm hearing as much as criticism as we heard about Alexi, a lot of it from me. It's really starting to pile up on Miggy. And I don't think that's wrong either. Homer said that on X, Miggy gets in the way of everyone. First got in the way of Alexi, and we all thought that Alexi was the one that sucks. Well, now he's getting in the way of Latte Lot, maybe. And he hasn't scored in 10 games.
Well, we didn't get the comment, but at least one of my friends,
Yeah.
shout out Melanie, did say to me, perhaps it's time to bench Miggy.
Yeah, I'm seeing a
And
lot of that.
I,
Hmm.
I mean, I get the sentiment.
Hmm.
I really do, and it's an interesting question. Um,
Hmm.
but my only question there is just, what do you accomplish, right?
Right.
Because I've seen nothing in Miggy's history, just personally, that tells me that he's a guy that gets out of his head by doing anything but playing. Um,
Yep, and
you know,
and that has been the case with Alexi for what it's worth. He wasn't
mhm.
benched, and he's
And
finding
lo and
himself.
behold, they figured it out and found a
So,
spot. And
yeah,
this is, I think, working better for Miggy.
agreed.
Again, he has a very boneheaded, egregious, bad moment. He does have some moments later in the match that are better. He has
Yeah,
a shot from inside the
yeah,
box.
it was a
He
good
has
shot. I mean,
passes to space.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Like
but I
he didn't
think
give
that
up. He
no,
didn't get in his own head and just get down. Like, and neither did the team. To be
no,
honest,
no,
that's number three. I thought the
yeah.
response after the goal, which was bad, was actually
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. Like we didn't lose our heads. We kept control and actually did a good job with our own press. I thought we were more Red Bull than Red Bull was, to be honest. And this isn't the same old Red Bull. We know that's totally different now. we got
And if I'm being
we got caught out by a
yeah,
ball over the top in the second. The direct balls continue to be a problem because we don't have Steen because he can't stay healthy.
100%. And it's a close move. It's a very close offside call. Okay, it is.
On
It
our
is
goal that was
on
scratched off, or
on our goal, but also
sure,
he's onside, but
right,
he's just barely
just barely.
onside on the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
goal.
yeah.
Is all I'm
Timed it
saying. We're
well.
trying to play an offside trap, and it doesn't
Right.
work. Um, that happens. That's some of the risk, and
Mm-hmm.
that's some of what Ronnie has talked about here. I think if we're gonna try to stay in the positive vein, like I agree with you. Like I don't think that we fell apart. We didn't give anything up in the 15 minutes of doom, right? But we had maimed ourselves in the first half. So, you know,
No.
unfortunately, and I think this was said on the post match, and I think probably if we're being fair, we do have to give some credence to the fact that you probably are the victim of tired legs too. And you can criticize starting everybody or not. We talked a lot, I think, with Jack, and he had said,
Yeah.
"Hey, we need to sub," and I said, "Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll have to see what he does." And lo and behold, we have one switch, right? Amador for Hernandez from the
Mm-hmm.
previous starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the energy that you came out in the second half, you probably see in hindsight, maybe you should have used that opportunity to rotate the squad.
But there was also plenty of justification for running it back too.
Exactly.
So, and
Exactly.
who's
It's a
to say
total
that might not
hindsight
have worked
thing.
either? And then we would just say, "Oh, see, should have run it back."
Right. But I'm just saying
Yeah,
that the takeaway from that is you have to remember these guys are human, right?
right.
They're human beings. Like they're not supermen. Like
We
at some
forget that
point,
from time to time. We do.
you know.
Yeah.
Um and I also want to say that I think that I really appreciate the effort that we are starting to see. I mean, we got another amazing game out of Bartosz Szlich, right? I
Hey,
think
Barto, jump to number 5. Like, is expected dog a stat? It should be. Barto has been pumping up that stat lately, and we can be really happy with that. There's your positive. You're trying to find some. Absolutely. Fight has been lacking. And though that's not enough to win a trophy or even get in the postseason, you need more than that. It's still really nice to see, like him, like getting in a player's face, fighting, going in for a hard tackle, like setting that tone, throwing his hands up in the air, like rallying the guys. We've been looking for somebody in the middle of the pitch to be that guy. If he can start being that guy, great. I mean, that's a big switch for me from like just 5, 6 matches ago where I'm like, boy, Barto's got to go in the summer because he's not doing it. But if he can be that guy, maybe we are hanging on to him because even if we do replace him, then we need somebody else to do that. Like he's doing it, so massive credit to him. I mean, he's not the biggest guy to be doing it. He's doing it.
for me, if you're a build the team around Jay Fortune guy, then you don't want to see Bartosz or Alexi go anywhere because right now those two
Jay
are
needs them.
are are building around Jay and he's building on them. And I think that that's got a really nice. We've got some nice things brewing there, and with the Saba edition, I also liked seeing Saba and Brooks get on the field at the same time. I didn't hate that. I think that if you have a couple different runs, I think there was another ball that Brooks had that went right across that I think he's Kyle Duncan. Anyway, Duncan for Newark Red Bulls gets a toe on it. And I was also, I'm sorry, just a little bit frustrated. I felt like when I watched it back that Latte kind of stalls his run. And if he
Oh yeah,
continues
I know
through,
the one you're talking about.
maybe you're hitting it.
Right,
And so
right.
I'm not, I'm sure there are people that'll say Brooks to nowhere, but in my mind, that's Brooks to where you're supposed to be if you're continuing that crashing run that's going
Yeah,
on
I
when
agree
he's
with you.
making
I
that
didn't think
pass.
Brooks was bad in this match, by the way. I didn't see really any of his, his bad crosses because he has
Yeah,
made some. But yeah, I
yeah,
agree
of
with
course.
you on that one. I mean, there's our big striker, number 4, right? Sure isn't doing a whole lot. Latte lot. Would have been nice to see some of the other angles on that offside decision. A little head scratcher for me. I'm surprised it wasn't paused more, like taking a clear review at it. But
Much of an elbow. I mean,
maybe
it was
I don't
like
know. But you
this-
take that one away. Take the scratch goal. Take that away. What's he done? 2 months without a goal. 20 plus mil. He's had chances. Maybe he didn't have any clear cut like sitters, but he has demonstrated an ability to not need a sitter. Like his first 5 goals, he worked for those. I, I don't know what's happened. It's like he's got the yips.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a mystery, right?
Yeah.
You don't know why guys get in their heads, but that seems to be maybe the case. Like, I do want to take a minute to pump the brakes just a little bit in the sense that I felt like we had a really lot of really good energy in the last 2 games. I felt like Latte was still playing the team ball and the team guy, and I respect that out of him. If I give any credence to your theory of a nagging injury and or long season and all this other kind of stuff,
Not my
well,
theory. Someone else. I don't think he
someone
is.
else's
I
idea,
don't
I don't
think
know.
he
I mean,
is. But
in my mind, it's more psychological than
agreed.
physical, is what I'm seeing.
Agreed.
What I'm seeing is a guy who's being asked to do something that's not quite what he was being asked to do at the beginning,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
and who has not quite found how to play that role because they're not playing side by side, not truly. When TRA came in, I think he and Latte played a little more like that, and that was
Hmm.
interesting too to
Okay.
see the two of
Okay.
them. But Latte is like he's being asked to play, off of Miggy, and he doesn't seem to be able to like find himself, and he keeps coming back further and further and further and deeper trying to find the game. But we didn't get the guy because of his hold up play.
Well,
Like
a little bit. Like
a
maybe
little
not hold
bit,
up, but his
but
ability to just like win the ball and set himself up or somebody else up, but not in the middle of the park. Correct. Yeah.
right, not
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
supposed
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
this deep. He might be asked to do that at the 18 or just outside,
He
but
has
not at
been more
midfield.
forward lately. Still hasn't converted.
Yeah.
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 Well, and you can tell the guys are, I mean, and to be honest with you, if I had to guess the number one reason why you trot out your same starting lineup, it's because you don't want to completely demolish the psyche of your starting center forward, right?
Yeah. It's like
But
what we said with Alexi. He didn't get benched and he came good. Like I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't think it should take this long. Maybe these guys going away to their respective national teams get a little break and you get to see your other friends and buddies and from your country and kind of re-energize you a little bit. Please don't get hurt. Come back healthy. Maybe that does something. I mean, it is positive vibes FC when you go play for your country. It's a huge honor. So
it
maybe
is.
that does something. I don't know. Maybe I'm grasping at straws here. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think that's like the best you can hope for, right? And
Right.
I hope that that is what comes out of it because looking at our next Thursday match, I'm genuinely unsure who we're going to have on the back line.
It's
Um,
a long list of
I
call ups.
because we've got Ephraim and Noah both called up, plus Abram. So that's 3 gone. So you're left with Williams, injured Stian.
Yeah.
Um,
Some will be
I guess we
back,
get
but it
Boygrove.
will be like, boy, you just landed. If they're able to play Thursday, it's tight.
Yeah.
That Thursday game is killer. Consequence of having good players, countries want them. Just wish they would play as well for club as some of them do for country. But maybe they come back because we're gonna have to find some points on the road here. This is number 2. It's nice that we've finally found a formation that seemingly works with this back 3, back 5. That allows us to at least play some coherent football for once. But the defensive problems are still there. We have 1 clean sheet on the season. That's it. And that's going to make our fight for playoffs. Let's not even talk about top 4. Let's just playoffs. Well, we've dropped too many home points. You have to get them on the road, and it's not going to happen quite like this. God hates Atlanta on X. I think
Yes.
hell of a name. I think our defensive struggles aren't going away until we overhaul the back line. He lists Stian because he can't stay healthy. We have a winning record with him and a positive goal differential, but he can't stay on the pitch. So
You can't stay healthy.
Derek, seemingly not in the right position, too many mistakes. Luis Abram, overpaid, too slow. Agreed. Matt Edwards, I don't think he should be on the list. Like he's done the business for me and for where he's at. So I'm fine with him. But those other ones, yeah. But we weren't even at the point with this club where we could worry about like, oh, we got to lock it down defensively. Well, we got to play ball first. So we seem to be able to do that. Even with this loss, like it wasn't what the losses we saw before Philly and prior to. We were just like, yeah, we're not even trying out here. This is different. We tried. We failed. So maybe now we can start worrying about that. And I don't know what Stian's a big guy. I don't understand the fragility there. Maybe he just hasn't had enough rest. I do empathize with that. When you get hurt and you want to come back, you never get to fully rest mid-season and really heal the injury. So it feels like he's going to be carrying this for a while. I haven't seen any updates. Maybe he gets a few minutes on Thursday, but not in that 90-minute capacity that we need. So
I think we've gotten a lot of these like nagging BS 2 to 3 week whatever kinds of injuries in the way that we were getting snake bit with Achilles heels a couple of years ago.
oh
You know
my
what I
God.
mean? Like they just keep coming. It's like every week it's a groin here, a hamstring there, a
Right.
tendon, an abductor, a whatever. Like you've got something, and you do wonder like, okay, what's going on with that?
Mm.
Um, but you've got to play through it. Other teams are playing through it. Other teams have injuries. Like you've got to figure out a way to just power through it. I think if I have one request, and it may be a silly one, but I'm that person, Ronnie, this one's straight to you, Mr. Dyla. Please do not put black back on your body.
No, see,
Okay,
he tried to get
not
cute. Wear
at
black and
all.
white. Ronnie.
No,
Ronnie.
white,
My brother in
white.
Christ. Yeah.
I appreciate that you were trying to make a look to the extent that you can do that in a t-shirt and another t-shirt with a collar, but
It's not it.
not that's not what we need. It's
Also,
not the vibe.
I don't think it's entirely unfair to blame Tyler Pilgrim from Scarves and Spikes because his baby daughter wasn't at the game. She's been at every game we've won. So, Tyler, I don't care if it's in New York, bro. Like, I don't care if it's in DC or Toronto. You ship that baby up there. We'll start the GoFundMe, whatever we need to do. And Ronnie, wear white. It's very simple. Let's not worry about the back line, injuries, all that. Just wear a white shirt. Make sure the baby's there. Everything will be
I'd
fine.
also like to make a call out to anybody who's listening who offers services in saging
Yes.
things in filtering out the negative spirits or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like to have you on the team bus. I will finance it if you'll
Yeah.
if they'll let you do it. We'd like to just
We need to
get
just
all
like
the bad
crop
juju
dust the
out
training
of
grounds.
the
Just
team
fly one of
bus.
those planes over and just sage this motherfucker. Like, yeah. Um.
We've tried everything else.
Yep. Tried
So
puppies and go karts and, but I do think that we should. There's some credence to the white shirt and the baby. All right. Anything else on this one? It's not a particularly long pod this time because there's just not much to talk about. We have seen this before with the Red Bulls in every iteration of this team, from the best to the worst.
yeah, and it's just it's just
Yeah,
a maddening stat, a maddening
it's crazy.
thing to witness. But I will say that if you'd like to see this match played out, but you're on the winning side of it, you may want to consider coming out to the Decatur FC match this coming Friday,
Come on,
because if you didn't hear our pod from last week's Decatur or
go
the
check that
Decatur
one
FC
out.
match this past
Episode
week,
2 of Five Takes Feminine.
um, our Decatur women's team won again, 3-0,
Yep,
2-0, same as our result, but we were on the winning side.
and it played out
And
similarly
weird,
for the opponent in terms of
weirdly
yeah,
similarly, we scored in the first minute and completely threw off our opponent in the way that seemingly
yep,
our gaff at Red Bulls
yeah. It was
threw
really
us off.
similar. That
So if you want to come out and support more winning, there
come
is more
on,
winning
man.
to be had in
You
Atlanta
betcha.
and in
Friday,
Decatur.
7 o'clock. Both the goals in the last match came from Maggie Smith, natural born
Wattsburg.
striker. It was great. Go check out the pod to hear some comments from Maggie and also Jasmine Ferguson, defense, and how they were able to just basically shut them down and keep any chances coming from UFA Gunners from outside the 18. They did nearly have a couple golazos, but some outstanding goalkeeping as well. But that's this Friday. Atlanta Fire United, they will take them on. They do have a Wednesday match in Chattanooga. So if you're up that way, or you feel so inclined to make that journey, girls would love to see you up there. I will not be able to get up all the way up to Chattanooga, but you can stream the match too on National Soccer Network on YouTube. I'm not sure how good the stream will be away from home, but hopefully at least some highlights. I'm sure the club will at least post those, and we'll talk about that as well as I'm sure another win probably on Friday, because that is all this team does. They just play some sexy football that's really coherent and together, So come out and support them. It's a really fun thing to do. It's easy to get to. It's right at Decatur High School, right by the square. MARTA, free parking, $10 for tickets, $5 for kids. Like, it's super easy. And the kids get to go on the pitch at halftime. They clear it out and they bring out the mini goals, and you can go around and kick a ball. It's a really great thing to expose young kids to, especially young girls, to show them, real pathways that are being provided for them should they want to try to pursue this as a professional career or pro-am or college or whatever it is. It's just a really positive thing. And the club is doing amazing work to provide these opportunities. And don't forget about Wednesday night lights at Eastlake MARTA Station. Free soccer clinic, 6 o'clock, 7:30. Ages, I think, 5 to 14, 6 to 14. From kids,
6 to 14.
Yeah, 6 to 14. Kids to middle school. Come out and get some tips from the girls. Learn some skills. Refine what you have. It's a great thing that the club is offering, and everybody should take advantage of that.
If you have a young woman in your life, a young girl who's playing soccer, you got to get them out to one of these matches.
Yep.
It's a very cool little environment. Couple thousand fans showing up for this Friday night soccer.
$21.79 again for lower league women's soccer.
Was really great.
It's awesome.
They got some brass and some drums.
Horn section, everything. Hopefully the mascots come back out this week. I missed having the Decatur Bulldogs there. They came out for the first one.
And the players are so gracious with their time.
Oh my gosh.
They definitely hung out for at least an hour, I would say, probably after the game, signing autographs.
For every young kid that wants it.
Talking to anybody who wanted to talk to them, just kind of having a good time. And
it's infectious.
And I also want to shout out the vibe at O'Sullivan's as well. So they do pre-match at O'Sullivan's.
Yeah, and they got the tent right outside there and the keg, and it's just a really positive environment, y'all. It's fun and feel good vibes, FC.
So if you want a little pick-me-up to just get the remaining taste out of your mouth from this last match.
It's a great palate cleanser.
It is great. And you'll be feeling really good so that we can all rest and reset.
Yes.
Because we're going to get back. I'm telling you, we're going to get back on it eventually on this road.
We have to.
It's going to work out on the road. We're going to figure it out.
Nothing lasts forever, good or bad. Nothing. We've learned that the good doesn't last. We feel like we've endured the bad long enough that eventually this thing's got to turn. But come out and just be part of something that's great in your local community, Support your community. This thing's supporting the community, support it back. That's how it's supposed to work. We will be there on Friday, and then we will be back on Saturday with a new pod on the Feminile going over DFC versus AFU. And remember, you can stream that for sure. The home matches on National Soccer Network on YouTube, and you can also rewatch it, barring any technical difficulties. Sometimes the match starts a few minutes late, but you should be able to watch it. But if you're in the area, you got no excuse. Come down. It's cheap. It's fun. Promise you're not going to leave there with regret. You might have a little FOMO if you don't go, though. So, all right, y'all. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate it, and watching and supporting us, supporting each other. Also, happy Pride Month, start of that. Shame that we don't have any home matches during Pride Month.
But
yes.
There will be drag bingo.
Go on.
At Pullman Yards.
Mm-hmm.
Put on my all stripes.
Forgot about that. Bingo. What date is that?
Welcome. June 28th.
28th. Save the date, y'all.
28th.
Pullman Yards.
Save the date.
Drag bingo. Make sure you get out for that, because we're not gonna have another home match till mid-July, but maybe that's for the best. I don't know. We'll see.
It's gonna it's gonna be a great time. So definitely
Yeah,
get out there and you can celebrate all the colors of the rainbow and Pride Month there.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Come on out, y'all. Alrighty. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for supporting Mason Mill as well, and Fan TV, and join the Discord if you haven't already. Those links for Mason Mill and the Discord and everything else, the Five Takes Feminine, it's all in the show notes, as well as links to buy tickets online for Decatur FC. Even though you can buy them, you can just walk up and they'll happily take your money there, whatever support you want to show them. And buy some merch there. The merch is really good. Just saying, the merch for Decatur FC is very good. All right, y'all. We will be back in a few days' time to talk about Decatur FC. We'll be back in about a week and a half's time to talk about Atlanta United versus NYC FC. All right, until then, y'all be good. We will be back.
Yep. Till next time. Meow, meow, meow.